Hello, I'm William Goode, Chairman of the T.L. Hanna Historical Society, and today we'll talk about historic preservation. But what is historic preservation? Well, it's a lot of things actually. It's quite self-explanatory. It's the preserving of history for further generations to know. Now some examples would be the museum in front of me, as well as many sites such as battlefields, landmarks, and, well, even museums. Such as this, and this.
Oh, that's sad.
But what does historic preservation do for you and me? Well, for that, I had to get to a source, someone who knew a lot. And I went to no one else but Randy. Thank you for meeting with me today, Mr. Kolb. And I'm going to start this interview with my first question. What do you think is important about the Anderson County Museum?
It's a repository of the history of Anderson County. You can find out things there like why is Anderson County called the Electric City? Of course, it was the first city in the area that actually had electricity. And you can look around, there are pieces of that history, pieces of the electricity and everything else that are in Anderson County. And you can certainly, to me, it's just of interest that this stuff goes on and that this information is being held someplace in the museum.
Thank you. Do you see a difference in people before and after they come to the museum?
I've always been a history buff, and you know, I'm a firm believer in if you don't know your history, you're doomed to doing it again. And if you go in there and you find out why there was a Civil War and why there was World War I and II, you might learn something that will help you to better understand why it's not a good idea to do those things again. So hopefully you'll come away a better person with some time in a museum.
How do you think the Anderson County Museum impacts the community?
Now, I have been to a few venues there where people have either made products and sold them or just trying to describe various exhibits in there.
Do you think preservation should be limited, or should there be more, or should it just stay the same?
I don't think it should be limited, except perhaps on the budget. You need to do whatever you can to continue to improve the exhibitions, to make them more interesting, to make them more relevant.
Well, do you think it's a waste of taxpayer money?
History is never a waste of taxpayer money. Like I said before, if you don't know your history, you're probably doomed to repeat the bad stuff again, and you might not do the good stuff. So I think you're better off recording some of the history so that we know what we did in the past, so that hopefully we'll learn to do better in the future.
Is there anything you want to say before we end this interview?
Not really. I've always loved history. My degree is in history. All of my interest in it. If you look behind me, half the books here are history books, either flat history books or historical novels or what have you. I'm just interested in what did people do before, and at some point, maybe through this interview, somebody's going to look at this 100 years and say, wow, look at what they were doing then. So, got nothing else to say.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That wasn't enough. I devoted 5 hours of my hard-earned life to volunteer at the Anderson County Museum. It was interesting.
What's up, museum boy?
You may be asking yourself, what benefits are there to historic preservation? Well, I think you'd be presently surprised. Welcome to historic Pendleton, South Carolina, a place that truly is a testament to how wonderful historic preservation truly can be. With booming business and a community that has become one, it's no wonder why historic preservation has helped this area. On average, historic preservation brings 50,000 jobs to the United States. Can you believe that? 50,000! As well as countless part-time jobs for teens like me and you. Now for more information, let's look at the charts. As one may see, areas with historical preservation benefit greatly. In many places, value properties go up $2,000, as well as national happiness and GDP, helping not only the person, but the community on a whole. Now, I've been doing research, and apparently, historic preservation affects a lot more than just us rich kids, but also the poor scum too. It's free for everybody to enjoy, for the most part. And what proceeds are made go to the poor. People often stay at areas like this and squat because they have no homes, but with historic preservation, more benefits than you believe actually go to helping the poor. Thank you for watching this presentation on historic preservation. Hope you learned a thing or two, and remember, reach those sites, but most of all, winners don't do drugs.